No best of threes. But they've been patiently waiting this entire time, and here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon. We have the red Terran player, the red Terran himself, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. It is Percival. Here we go. Here we go, as we are getting into our next game, into our fresh series. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TvT, into our Terran versus Terran. Let's go. Let's go. Girls copiuming? A little bit, Pappy, a little bit in that last game. It's okay, it's okay. Yeah. As Nicoract does open up double gas, likewise so does Percival. Coming into this series, Percival is coming in as the favorite player for sure. He's coming in as maybe the favorite player to win the entire tournament, but Nicoract can definitely hold his own, can pose a threat, and can bring Percival down. But the pressure is going to be on Nicoract to play at his best, right? He's going to play at his best here to bring down Percival. We'll see if he can. Este Nicoract. This game has a live VIP observer and an MVP observer. Ah. Oh no. Ahí está. But from here, so far mirrored builds here in our current TvT. And we'll see where our players deviate. From here, we should be expanding CC, and then we can get into our tech. We can open up Reactor Reaper Hellion. We can open up Double Reaper. We can go into an earlier add-on swap in an early Cyclone production. We'll see where our players take us. So it's going to be Reaper into Reactor for Percival. Nicoract opening up a Double Reaper. Reaper goes in, gets one SCV, not bad. Gets on Worker. Nicoract, he does barely get away. Very nice KDA charge. Clutch moves out of Nicoract. So he does pull out. Behind this, Percival getting into his own Reactor Reaper Hellion initially. Early on, Nicoract does have the greater army, but Percival, he's about to catch up. Okay, Hellion is out. Does kill the first Reaper, gets one. Gets both. Ay. Brutal start here for Nicoract. He killed one SCV, but he will lose two Reapers. With that, Percival pulls away. Nice dodge from the KDA charge. And Percival, he will save the Reaper. Does reinforce, repair his Hellion. And Percival, he will gain momentum. He will gain map control. He's moving out across the map. Nicoract has to race all the way back home. And do we delay the CC? Barely not. 1 second earlier, the CC would have been delayed. That was very close. Very clutch. Nicoract, he will defend the main, and likewise, he will defend the natural. And does defend. So far, so good. As mining is at least being denied. Back in Percival, he's freely mining from his own natural, freely muling, so this is still a lead for Percival. Not as much of a lead as he would have liked, but a lead nonetheless. Nice catch. Cyclone arrives, and Percival, he is forced back, but the damage has been done. From here, we're building up. Percival, he does decide to invest into a second Cyclone, so double Cyclone here out of Percival. Meanwhile, Nicoract, I believe he stopped at one, going to earlier tank production. As a result, Nicoract, he will have the slight tank lead over his opponent. So Nicoract, he's going to be shut down. Nice defense here by Percival. Scan is the main base, gets eyes on the... Oh, barely doesn't quite get eyes on the third CC timing. But both players are expanding. We're building up into the mid game. We'll see if Percival, because he does have a little bit more momentum on his side, he might decide to move out and attempt to delay the expansion of Nicoract. I mean, it could go either way. Nicoract does have that slight tank lead. Meanwhile, Percival going into earlier Viking production.
You want a piece of me, boy?
So Vikings are amassing for Percival. Nicoract going for his own add-on swab and making the reactor. So delayed Vikings. Instead he has more Ravens. Nicoract did commit into triple Raven production. It's a lot of disables. A lot of interference matrix. Oh, here comes a move out. Percival, he does have to delay. Oh, nice catch. Yeah, tank does siege, takes down one of the Cyclones. And this is just containing Nicoract. And while he's contained, ideally Percival expands. Oh, yeah, Vikings move in. There's mass disable. Order shot's going to be thrown down. Yeah, both players. Throws down as many as he can. But the tank should fall. Nice breakout. Nicoract, he gets the tank. But the Cyclone lock-ons are brutal. Takes out everything. GG gets called. Nicoract, he will lose the entire army. And Percival takes game number 1. Whew. GG, a very chaotic fight there for both players. We saw that, yes, Nicoract did disable the tank. He was able to move in, but the Vikings, they landed behind the army. We had overall more DPS available for Percival. Took the greater fight. GG, well played. With that, that was game then and there, and we'll see if Nicoract can bounce back coming into game 2. Let's go. Let us go. Whew. So getting into game 2 here. Game 2 is going to be on Ley Lines, one of the older maps in the map pool. It's been around for a couple of seasons. Here we go. And of course, as a reminder, Seamus is waiting for the winner of this series in the grand finals. Likewise, something that I have yet to bring up so far in this cast is if you want to help support this tournament, you can do so via Matcherino. I believe I have a command. There we go. Exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat, and you'll get a link to the Matcherino page, so you can help support this tournament if you wish. There is a Matcherino page for every monthly for the Platinum StarCraft League, so it is available there. If you wish to support the tournament, you can monetarily, as all that prize money goes towards the players, goes towards the top players of this tournament. But here we go. We're getting into game 2, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran representing the Platinum Heroes down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran himself from South Korea. It is Percival, leading the series 1-0. Go. As once again, double gas opener out of Nicoract, double gas opener out of Percival. So far we have mirrored builds. We'll see if we deviate in the early game once again when it comes to the commitment into Reapers, commitment into Hellions. Percival did have the slightly better start last game. Led into the earlier push with earlier Viking production. See what game 2 entails. You're all animals in the chat. You're all animals, man. Yeah. SMH, man. Likewise, also a reminder, these monthly tournaments are leading into an end-of-year final, so there's going to be a Platinum StarCraft League finals towards the end of the year, featuring the top players from all these monthly tournaments. So all leading to a big major event. So something to look forward to at the end of the year. We're getting there. We'll see what happens when it comes to the coverage of that event. I believe Rotterdam should be covering it. Whether we're involved, yet to be determined. For now, though, we do have our 1-1-1 follow-up. Getting into our add-on swaps. Ooh, Percival getting caught out, so losing the first Reaper. One Reaper does fall. And the second is also being chased down. Nicoract with the attempted interception. Can he catch him? Oh! Yes, Percival does hide his Reaper. Doubles back around. Nicoract, he's searching for the Reaper, but alas, he gets juked. Does get juked. Percival slipping in from behind. Avoids the Reaper Hellion. And can he delay the CC? No shot. Gets in. Yeah, it does get in and will not delay the CC. A little bit late to actually attack the SCV. Yeah, a little bit late. At the same time, Nicoract, he will kill 2 workers. 3 even. Oh. 2 SCVs go down. Third one towards the end. Barely gets away. Cyclone will hold. And the Reaper getting even more damage done. Getting up to 4, 5 SCVs. Wait, what? 5 SCVs on the one Reaper. What is happening here? Yeah, the one Reaper going insane. 5 SCV kills. That should not have happened. 1 or 2, sure, but Nicoract, he was hyper fixated on his micro across the map. His defense back at home fell by the wayside. Ay. So after that skirmish, Percival does take a slight lead. I want to emphasize a slight lead as we're up by 3 SCVs, by 3 workers. TvT does often still come down to the main fights, the main engagements, the main army control. It's all about the animals here, right? True. Quack. We're sharking around. A third CC is on the way. Both players once again building up into Raven production. We'll see when our players do stop Raven production though. Last game Nicoract went up to 3. Meanwhile, last game Percival, he stopped at 2, then went into Vikings. Scan reveals the production, reveals the tech. Nicoract has yet to expand. As we did open up Banshee actually behind this, my apologies. The Banshee into the main, getting 3 SCVs already. Very nice damage here by by Percival. He does turn back around. He was already behind economically, now falling slightly further behind. Now we get a third CC, but a much more delayed third base out of Nicoract. There's a lot of pressure on our red Terran here to move out. A lot of pressure. But the Banshee is keeping him home. Okay, here comes the move out. Here comes the main move out. 3 Ravens. Viking production for Percival, very similar to last game. Banshee hits the main, more SCV kills, and Nicoract, he's all in. At this point, like, Nicoract, he has to commit. Losing, he's down by 10 workers. Ay. Meanwhile, Percival, he has not spotted the main army, he doesn't know where he is. Doesn't know where he's coming from.
Command center upgrade.
Main army has arrived. Ooh, thankfully doesn't go off. He has to find a way in. Not quite able to. And Percival, he holds, he defends. The Banshee is still in the main, gets 1 more SCV towards the end. It's going to be 13 in total, and with that brutal damage, Percival is landing his 3rd. Nicoract, he still needs to find damage. He gets spotted. Percival reacts. Percival moving in. We go for the massive disable, disables 3 tanks, not bad. But Order Chargers will buy some time. And we have the 1 counter disable. Vikings, they take control of the skies. And Percival, he can just land. Yeah, he does land. And he will clean up, takes out every single tank. GG gets called. A very strong fight there from Percival, and he will extend his lead 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, Percival, he was very much so in control of this game, more so than the last one. Percival, he was able to deal early damage with the Reaper, 5 SCV kills with the Reaper. He was even able to deal more damage with the Banshee follow-up as well, so critical economic damage. Nicoract, he was borderline all in there. He was borderline all in. He had to do something to recover. He had to push into the bases, but alas, there was just so much working against him. As time went on, it was getting better and better for Percival. And likewise, as Percival was the defending player, he was often pre-sieged. He was often pre-sieged in position, and the army was pushing into pre-siege tanks. We had some nice disables, but Percival had plenty of Vikings to help deal with that. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 3. We're loading into Ultra Love. Let's go. Loading into... I'm hoping this won't be the final game of the series. I want to see a back and forth. I want to see a game 4 and potentially even a game 5. But the pressure is on. Pressure is on, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Red Terran player, the Red Terran himself, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue. We have the blue Terran player himself from the land of South Korea, leading the series 2-0. It is Percival. Go. So we are getting into our next game, into game number 3. And again, Percival needs one more game to claim the series. Nicoract, the pressure is on. So far, these games have been coming down to these main pushes on 2 bases as we attempt to take a 3rd base. But what's important is the lead up to that, right? Here in the last game, Percival had such a dominant early to mid game, just crippling the economy and forcing Nicoract's hand. Nicoract, he had to commit in, even into a bad fight, because he was so far behind. So coming into game 3, it's going to be up to Nicoract to tighten up his defense, right? To tighten up his early game, minimize losses, or even be more aggressive himself. Here you go. Oh. As Percival does get his natural base. Oh, sorry, my apologies. For the first time this series, ranks expand. For the first time this series, we do have an economic opener here. We are not going double gas. Nicoract is. So we have our roles here. Percival is going to be the defender. Nicoract is going to be the aggressor. Okay. So Percival, he is being a little bit greedier. Nicoract, I believe he saw the timing of the CC. He's aware. And we'll see if he can punish. In, pulls away. Didn't think 5 players are so good. Think these 2 might consider going pro or something. True, they should. If this is what they're looking like at Platinum, mate, imagine Diamond. That'd be crazy. Crazy, man. Aye. Okay, Does pick in. With the help of Marine Defense, the Percival, he should be able to hold on. Ooh, as he will not lose the first Reaper. Does pull away in time. Last let's ever extend. They do trade 1-to-1. Better trade for Percival. Does pull back. And again, as a reminder, Percival, he doesn't have as much map control as he doesn't have any Reapers to work with. Only had the 1 because of his opener, because of the later Gas Geyser. But so far, he's holding well. It's up to Nicoract to break through. Yeah, the Hellion was a little bit late to the party. Marines are broken down. Nice pick up there with the Hellion, and Nicoract, he takes over the natural. Nicely done here. Ooh, the SCVs do line up. Gets 1, gets 3. 3 SCV kills, not bad. Takes down 3 workers. Behind this, Nicoract is getting his own natural base up and running. Mining is denied, and more SCV is going to be going down, and Nicoract, not a bad start. Right here, getting 4. Getting 4 SCVs, denying mining time. Denying mining at the natural as well, and with that, Nicoract does take a slight worker advantage. Now, the one downside, of course, is the mule. As you can see here with mules, Percival, he can recover. The orbital just now finishing up for Nicoract. As from here, we're building up. Nicoract working on his tanks, building up his ravens. Nicoract, he will have this slight tank lead. And I believe Raven lead as well. Yeah, it does have the Raven lead. Only slightly, I believe. Oh no, equivalent. Never mind. So from here we're building up back at home. We'll see if Nicoract or which player does decide to commit across the map and try to punish the third. That's often where a lot of these games have been decided. And Percival, he's behind economically, so to make up for that, does come in with the Raven. Gets 1. Gets 1. 2 SCV kills. The Raven does get away. Does pull out, just barely. Not bad. The downside, of course, is now that's going to be less energy to defend back at home. Less energy for Percival. And Nicoract, he's rushing into a third CC. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? That's a second starport. Let's go 2-port 2-base all-in out of Percival. Meanwhile, a more economic follow-up out of Nicoract. Scan into the main base, doesn't see much. I mean, does confirm the reactor on the starport, does confirm Viking production is aware of Stim that's on the way. But again, even though we have reacted Vikings, it's on Percival to actually take over that Viking lead. So the way this build works here is that we're going to be making 3 Vikings at a time. So over time, Percival, he will actually be able to excel and overwhelm the Vikings of his opponent, and ideally reinforce with a Liberator. With that air control, thanks to all these Vikings, the Liberator can reign supreme. This build hits quite hard. It hits quite hard, especially if unscouted. Scan doesn't see much. Tanks, they're getting within range of the mineral line. Nice moves here by Nicoract. Meanwhile, we have the counter disables. Disables 1, disables both. If both tanks are disabled. Oh, the Vikings, they pop off. Ravens are going to be going down. Nicoract, he's going to bleed out too much here. They bleed out far too much as he will lose all the Marines, the Ravens, and the tanks as well. Oh, I was assuming that was going to be a stronger engage for Percival. Tanks are still up and running. Tanks are still barely up. How many Vikings do we have so far? 4. Not quite enough to land on this. Oh, as we throw away the Vikings. Yeah, brutal loss there for Nicoract. He will pull away. There's that Liberator that we spoke about. Again, this is the big power spike for Percival, is that Liberator. It's coming. And again, what is the answer to the Liberator? The Cyclone went down earlier, and the Vikings are in favor of Percival. Speaking of, they do land. Phototypes get thrown down. He wants those tanks. He gets 1. The others are waddling away. 1 Raven doesn't quite fall. Yeah, a bit of engage for Percival. He does catch out the army. Takes on both tanks. GG gets called. And Percival, he will overwhelm. He will take the series 3-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Ooh, GG, well played. Again, Nicoract, he was trying to make use of his advantage of his tank lead, but he was going into a 2-base all-in. He got caught out in the open. He got caught across the map, let out far too much. And with that, Percival able to make use of this older school build. You don't often see 2-port 2-base all-ins anymore. It was very trendy a couple of years ago. Nowadays, it's quite rare. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Percival as he does claim the series and does advance on to those finals. And let's catch up. Let's catch up on the finals. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Here we go. Just quickly setting up. Beautiful. As a reminder, of course, Sheamus who was waiting in the grand finals for the winner of this series. Sheamus did take down Geralt 3-1 earlier. Here we had a stronger showing out of Percival with a 3-0 scoreline over Nicoract, and now we have Sheamus and Percival facing off in the grand finals. Double checking, but I believe this should be a best of 5. Yes. Yes. Best of 5 grand finals here between Sheamus and Percival, and we'll see how this story ends. We'll see who's going to be this month's champion. Will it be a Protoss? Will it be a Terran? Now, this is going to be a rematch. These two did face off a couple of days ago in the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. They faced off in the semifinals, best of 3, and Percival did win. Did go all the way to the ace match, but did win 2-1 over Sheamus, which is why we expect it back and forth, right? Previously, Sheamus, he barely went down to Percival in those semis. Now, here we go. For now, we're going to be going on a break, and when we come back, we'll have the grand finals. We'll see you soon after said break. See you soon, Pappy. See you soon. Ta-da.